think a lot of us today have really been leaning into friends and family, connecting with our support networks as we are trying to process Alex Preddy's murder at the hands of out-of-control Customs and Border Patrol agents. And I was chatting with one of my friends earlier, and we were talking about the way that Alex did nothing wrong. Like, how senseless was it? He did nothing wrong. He didn't break any laws. Even if you break laws, that does not mean you deserve to be shot over and over and over again while you are clearly restrained on the ground. And they said to me, I saw this thing that was like, our right to bear arms was taken away today because all Alex did was have a gun on him and they shot him. This is not the right to bear arms. And I pushed back on that a little bit. I said, okay, I've seen a repeat of that sentiment elsewhere online, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Somebody said in my comments earlier today that the Constitution was effectively destroyed. And I said, no, that's not true. ICE are criminals. They are violating the law. They are violating the Constitution. They are violating our constitutional rights. But the Constitution itself still exists. We only have rights if we continue to courageously exercise them. We only have a Constitution if we continue to defend it. Just because some out-of-control paramilitary enforcer of the regime is violating the law and trampling our rights, that doesn't mean that we say, okay, they no longer exist, poof, they're gone. No, we have to vigorously defend those rights. And I think that you're seeing that in Minnesota. You're seeing that across the country. People are emboldened. America is made up of, as a knitting cult lady likes to say, a bunch of jerks. We don't like to be told what to do. I know, we've had this authoritarian parenting that has conditioned a lot of people to unquestioningly obey whatever somebody in authority says over them. But still at the core of who we are as Americans is that tension, that pull, that resistance to obeying authority. After all, we're the country of don't tread on me. We're the country of fuck you, make me. We're the country of the Boston Tea Party. We're the country that has libertarian, I think about Oregon, militias in the foothills, right? We have people who are opposed to government, don't want to do anything that the government says, all over this country. And to me, it's been really baffling to see how many conservatives have very quickly turned into bootlickers, right? The don't tread on me folks have turned into the comply or die folks, except maybe now, not anymore. Maybe this is a bridge too far for them. This is a line that is crossed, because for millions and millions of Americans, y'all, trucks and guns are part of their identity. Their guns are tied up in who they are as Americans. You take away their guns, they don't feel like Americans anymore. You have stripped away part of their identity. So Americans will cling to their guns and their right to bear arms. I know we like to think for Republicans that Donald Trump can just keep creeping and they will just keep moving the goalpost in order to continue to pledge allegiance to him instead of to the Constitution and the Republic, right? But I don't think that's true when it comes to firearms. And maybe I'll talk about this in the next video, but I also think it matters very much today that the victim of the regime was a white man who carried a firearm. Because suddenly an awful lot of libertarians, they see themselves in Alex Preddy. That's a man who was a nurse for the VA. He took care of veterans all day. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was exercising his Second Amendment right to open carry. He had a permit. He didn't break any laws. And the government gunned him down in the street. And I think suddenly you're seeing men who are like, oh shit, that could have been me. Finally, we're getting some empathy. Finally, we're getting folks to realize the level of the threat, and it just is devastating that it took an innocent man getting gunned down in the street before they would see it. But I just want to remind folks, ICE is violating the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment still exists. In fact, a judge just said, no, you can't go into people's homes without a search warrant. Are you fucking kidding me? No, that's a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. Likewise, when we're looking at the Second Amendment, Stephen Miller, I just posted a video on my YouTube. Stephen Miller said that if you, like Alex Preddy, are carrying in public, again, exercising a constitutionally protected right, Stephen Miller thinks you're an assassin. And he thinks that ICE goons, Customs and Border Patrol brown shirts, have the right to gun you down in the street simply for being an American citizen, exercising your Second Amendment right. Those rights still exist. We have a lawless, out of control, brutal paramilitary that is being run by an out of control, panicking would be dictator and his Grima Wormtongue, Stephen Miller, whispering in his ear. They are scared shitless that they are losing their grasp on power, because they are losing their grasp on power. And so they're trying to clamp down. They're trying to quickly strip away as many rights as they possibly can so that they can get a firm grasp on all of us, erode elections, and cement themselves as a little dictator duo, right? Demented Dawn and Grima Wormtongue whispering in his ear and controlling everything that he's doing. This, I think, is the thing. A lot of libertarians, a lot of Republicans in this country are really into their 2A rights. That is a core part of who they are. And if the government can justify out of control agents murdering a nurse in the street when he was not handling his weapon, he was not aggressing against law enforcement, he was entirely law abiding, what does that mean? What does that mean for all of the rest of us?